Alrighty, guys, we are ready to start. Hello, guys. I'm Dave Santarelli from Santarelli Trading Exchange, BreakingChartAlerts.com, and Stock Options Trading Academy. So tonight, I wanted to do a class on how to find breakout stocks. I've been a trader, as you guys could see right here. I've been a trader, a full-time trader for about 15 years. I created the Santarelli Trading Exchange, created. Okay, so I wanted to go over with you guys a few things here on how to find breakout charts because that's the one question I get all the time. We teach a trade plan. We teach certain indicators that we use to find entries and exits in our trades. But I wanted to share with you guys from the start to the end here a very, very beginner class here on how to find these, how to set up your charts, and find these trade setups that we find. And I want to show you guys what we did today. We ended up making a few trades on AMD. Some of the members made over 100% return on those trades. I ended up only locking in about a 50% return on the first one. I'm still holding another one for the April 30th Expo. But I want to share with you guys how we're finding these trades. So let's jump in and let's get started here. Alrighty. So let me get this off now and put this over here. Let's see. That and that. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So first things first, I wanted to show you guys very basically how to get started here. All right. And this is what's really important. So when you guys take a look at a chart like this, I have my watch list. As you guys can see on YouTube here, I got 6 screens in front of me. Okay. And as a full-time trader, this allows me to really jump in, look at charts on a today 1 minute chart, a daily chart, see what's moving. And I got a lot of charts up here on different sectors and different industries that I'm looking at for that day. Every morning when I come into my office, I'm looking either at FinViz, I'm going on Bloomberg, I'm going on Benzinga, I'm seeing what the top news is for that day, Wall Street Journal, any of them, seeing what's going on and what do I want to focus on for that day. And then what else I like to do is I like to go on let me show you guys here. I like to go on my scanners here and see what's moving. So as you can see here, and I'm going to show you guys on Zoom here as well. Let me change this up here. New share right here. There we go. So now that we're all looking at the same thing here, you can see I have a watch list that I'm going through every morning, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing every morning to find my breakout stocks that I'm finding. So over on the right, you see this says market movers list. This is the largest percent stock gainers at this time. So right now I have it marked by the top gainers, and this is part of the NYSE, the American Stock Exchange. New York Stock Exchange. So it gives me 10 rows and I can see what's moving here in the pre-market hours. So when I come into my office each morning, I'm taking a look at this and I'm saying, okay, let's see what's got some momentum today, what's moving. And the nice thing about this, you could go right here. This is E-Trade Pro that I'm using. We could go down to look at largest percent stock losers if we wanted to trade some losers here in that breakdown momentum cycle, and we want to buy some puts or short some stocks. But I'd rather find the gainers and trade that momentum. There's more bulls than there are bears. Then also you could come down here and look at the most active stocks. This is showing you the ones with the most volume, the most activity. And you could change it from American market here. You could go to the NYSE. I like going with the NASDAQ, but you can see here Pfizer, total volume, most active stocks being traded. But again, here's stocks, here's options now. If I click on options, you could see, now this is what I really like to focus on because as you guys know, we're momentum option traders, okay? You could day trade shares of stock with our strategy, with our trade plan, with our service as well. But like I said, what's important right here is that you guys can see, let me get that name off of there so you don't have to look at that the entire time. Don't know where that is. Let me make that the big one there. There we go. Okay, so. Alrighty, so again, now I could change this to options. So now when I'm looking at the options in the morning, I could see, okay, they're picking up Sam April 16th, 970 strike puts. This is the largest options gainers. I want to go to the most active options. So here you could see they're doing a lot of day trading. You're seeing the expiration for the April 16th. So when I come in and I'm looking at my scanners first thing in the morning, what I'm looking at is, okay, are we looking at more swing trades or day trades today? Obviously, Thursdays and Fridays are the best days for day trading. The rest of the days are good for some swing trades. But now, these are the scanners that I use. I'm getting a little off topic. I want to show you guys how to find breakout stocks here and how to set up your charts for success. Okay? So you saw my watch list right above there, right? So now what I want to do is I want to show you guys, I have this link to this chart down here below. So now when I go down my watch list, you see up here it says link 1. So when I go down my watch list, it's going to show me the charts of any stock that's on my watch list. I have that line there from previous trades, but let's go down this watch list. I want you guys to see how confusing it looks when you're just looking at candles, because this is the first and most important part of your step as your journey as a trader. You have to develop a trade plan and a system that's going to work for you. And if you're looking at this chart right now, you're looking at it and you're like, you don't know where the heck that's going to go. But I'm going to show you a system and how to do it with technical indicators that are going to show you nice entries and find those breakouts, because obviously we don't want to trade the stock that is trading like this, right? If we're trading like this, we don't want to get in there. That's too choppy, right? Our goal as a momentum trader is to find these big breakouts like this. That's what we want to find. That big breakout from $2,250 all the way up to $3,500. This is Amazon right here, right? Or let's continue to go down the watch list here and see what else there is. That's Amazon. Here's Baidu. Look at Baidu. How do we find that big breakout there? And that's a question that everyone asks me. And over my course of 15 years, I've been able to find out exactly how to find those breakouts. And I'm going to show you how to set up your charts like I do so you can find those breakouts. So again, let's still go down the watch list here and see what else that we have. There's Baidu. Here's Facebook. All this choppiness in between here on Facebook, that's not a breakout. But guess what? You had a breakout right here. You had a nice breakout right here. And you had a big breakout back here, right? So that's another one. I'm going to show you how to exactly find those types of breakouts. And with options, if you know how to trade options, you're going to have massive returns doing that. So let's continue to go on the watch list here. Baba. Here's Baba. You got some nice breakouts there. Lately, it's just been consolidating. Here's a nice one on Google. What a breakout there. And I could show you how we find these consolidation areas and then wait for the breakout right with our trade plan. So what I want to do is just show you a couple of charts here. As you can see, it looks pretty confusing when you're trying to look at these candles, right? So I want to teach you how to find those breakouts now, okay? So let's get back up to what one was a good one that we saw about the breakouts here. Here's a nice one here, Baidu, right? How do you find this breakout here? Well, I'm going to teach you guys right now how to find this breakout. And it's really going to come down to being disciplined enough to follow a trade plan and look for those entries, exits, and targets. And let's go over this right now. So first off, if you just have regular candles on your chart here, I want you to change that. I want you to change that to hollow candles, okay? That's going to be much better, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Now what I want you to do is you're going to go to your studies here. You're going to click on studies. You're going to go down to your moving averages. I want you to add in your 10-day simple moving average on it. We make that yellow. So that's yellow, done. Now what I want you to go back up to studies, add moving average, add your 20-day simple moving average. And I like to make that like an aqua blue here. Okay, so here we go. Now, this is going to be a basic class here for you guys to show you guys how we're going to find these breakouts. Now, what I want you to do, go up to your studies. we're going to add our MACD, which is your moving average convergence divergence. And all this is down here, it's telling you, let me make this a little larger so you can see it right now and I could go over it with you. So down here is your moving average convergence divergence. Okay, that's your MACD. These lines here that you see, the 12, 26, and 9, those are your moving averages that they're using here to follow these lines. These are your signal lines and your MACD here. Okay, so now what we're looking for here are these signal crosses where we're getting a signal above the MACD, above the signal line, and we're getting an entry. And we're going to be using these yellow 10-day and blue 20-day simple moving averages as our entries, targets, stops with resistance. Okay, so now that we have that on there, we have the MACD. We have this set at a 1-year daily chart. And what that means is that each one of these candles right here that you see, each one of these represent one trading day. Okay, now what do these candles mean? Let's quickly go over that for you guys. One of these candles simply represents where the stock opened and where it closed, the highs and the lows for the day. So when you have a candle like this right here on Baidu, right? Here, let's go over this candle. This one's a little bit easier for you. So here's where the stock opened at. This is the opening price right here at that 305.87. Okay. And where it closed at was up here for the day at 339.87. The wick here, that line above it in the middle, that's what it got up to, but it didn't stay up there. It ended up closing right here. So that's called a wick. Okay. So this is the body. These are the wicks. All right. So now with our trade plan, what we want to focus in on are these breakout momentum cycles where you see each one of these candles are above the previous candle's body. Okay. And this is ultimately going to determine whether we're going to be making a swing trade or a day trade. All right. So now that I taught you what are these candles, now a filled in green candle, all that means is that it opened up here at the high and then it closed down here. That's why it's filled in. It's still above previous candle. It's still higher, but that's just telling you it's lower than where it opened at if it's filled in. Okay, so that's really simple to understand these candles. And obviously, a red candle means it's lower than the previous day's close. Okay. Now that we have that, the MACD, here is the signal lines, the MACD line and the signal line. Okay, so this is going to give us our entries when we're looking at that. And I'm going to show you how. This is the histogram down here. What we're looking for is green bars on the histogram as well. Okay, so now that we have this set up here, right? How did we find that big breakout right here on Baidu that we were talking about, right? I want to teach you guys how to use our trade plan to find these great setups down here, okay? Let me see if I could zoom in there a little bit more. All right, this is a great opportunity now for you guys to see this, all right? I want you to pay close attention here and see exactly what it is we're going to be doing because this is the most important part of the trade plan is being disciplined and being able to follow the trade plan and look for these entries using the trade plan here. Okay, so now let's take a look at this and see what it is we're looking for. Alrighty, so again now, so we're looking at this, and as you guys could see, we're looking for 3 confirmations for an entry with our trade plan, right? We're looking for 3 checks equal entry for a call. Call options, obviously you make money as the stock goes higher. Okay, so we got 3 check marks we're looking for. Does anyone know those check marks that we're looking for here? I know you guys know it. If you do, comment in the chat and say it. So number 1 is going to be that 1020 cross right here. There's that 1020 cross. That's check number 1, where the yellow line is crossing above the blue 20-day simple moving average, okay? Number 2, you're looking for that white line to cross above the red line. So that's our signal line right there. That's check number 2. Number 3, we're looking for that first candle after the crossover that's above the previous candle's body. That's really important. A green candle above the previous candle's body after the crossover after you got those two checks, because that is our third and final check. So this candle right here is going to represent our third check mark. Okay, so we are technical traders. We're breakout momentum, breakdown momentum traders. That's all we care about. You know, that's what we search for and we're looking for. And we're using all of our scanners, our tools, our indicators to find these setups. So now again, 3 check marks equals a confirmed entry for a call. Now, here's the thing, guys. Those of you that are new, those of you that don't know what to look for, when you get that first new cycle, so most of you know that are with us, we have 3 cycles in our trade plan. We have breakout momentum, we have breakdown momentum, and we have NTZ, which stands for no trade zone. Another term for that is consolidation. Okay, so if we take a look here, let me clear out those 3 things right there. Let me clear, exit. Okay, so as you can see here, it was in consolidation for quite a while here when it's trading below the 20-day simple moving average, trading between the simple moving averages. You know, right here, it's just, you know, really in consolidation. It had a small climb here, not too much, but it had a decent climb. It held that 20. It was just a smaller climb, right? And if you followed the trade plan even back here, where did you get that 10-20 cross? Here was that 10-20 cross right here in that new cycle. So whenever you have a new cycle formation, I want you guys to know that you're looking at something with an expiration of at least 3 to 6 months out till expo. So if you're looking at Baidu right here, for example, on the option chain, right? Let me put in Baidu there. If you're looking at Baidu on the option chain, what's today? Today's April. So I don't want you to think about April Expo. So May, June, July. July Expo. That's what you're going to be looking for. So on a new cycle formation, you know, you're looking for something at least a minimum of 3 months out until your expiration. Okay. So now that you got 3 months out till Expo, here was your entry. You already had your MACD cross. I could zoom into the MACD there. You had your MACD cross. You had your 10-20 cross. You had your first green candle above. Now you're going 3 months out. You know what you're using as your stop on this trade is that 20-day simple moving average or support. So that blue 20-day simple moving average, you're looking for a candle with a confirmed candle below that for your exit. Unless momentum's change or there's news and you could get out before that, that's even better. But with the trade plan, first candle below that 20-day simple moving average, that is your exit. All right, so you got in here, and then with our trade plan, you know, if you're still in the trade, you could get out here, but that was what? That was only 1 month. We got 3 months till Expo, right? So if you actually follow the trade plan, a lot of people get nervous and they'll sell out right there. You got support at 130 right here going back. So you have to be able to understand it's not just the trade plan here too. You have to look at those support areas. So if you look at that support area going back here, look at how it held that area right there the entire time. So if you're in a trade and you're entering into that breakout momentum and you get that big climb there, you're telling yourself your stop is either going to be one of 2 things. It's going to be a drop below your support area or a drop below that 20-day simple moving average. So 130 has been acting as a strong support area during this whole area right here, right? So that is going to tell you this is going to be our support area. Okay, that's really important because during this whole breakout, each one of these candles are representing 1 day, as you know. So obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You know, you're in this trade and it doesn't count weekends, obviously. So here's a month you're in this trade here. You know, if this comes down here and you get worried because up here you had some really nice profits, let's say up here you had 60% gains, right? And then all of a sudden on this day right here, now you're minus 10% on that trade because with options, your money's much more leveraged. So let's say here you have a plus 60% gain. And then on this day right here, you're like, oh, damn, I'm down 10%. And this is where patience and discipline come in. You got to be able to say, okay, did it hit my stop yet? And your stop is going to be at your support there. Did it hit your stop? No. Did it break below 130 support? No. You have 3+ months out till Expo, right? So here's the other thing, guys. When you're in an initial trade going into a new cycle and you get that 3 to 6 months out till Expo, If your trade doesn't expire less than 30 days, you got to go with that support area. Otherwise, you're looking at the first candle below the previous candle body or that 20-day simple moving average. And those of you that know the trade plan know exactly what I'm talking about, because I saw some of you today making some really great trades on this volatility today, utilizing that trade plan, including Skyjack was one of them, and a couple of new traders, Johnny Gomez as well. He did great. He made his first options trade with us on AMD, and he's up, over 50% on that trade in just a matter of hours. So again, guys, what you're looking for is that initial 10-20 cross, the MACD cross, and then entering into that breakout momentum cycle. This is called BOM, B-O-M. That stands for breakout momentum. That's our breakout momentum cycle. So like I said, we have 3 cycles: breakout momentum, breakdown momentum, and no trade zone. So when you're getting that new cycle formation after being in the no trade zone or consolidation for so long there, and then you get that 10-20 cross, and then you're breaking out here, you know what? Well, now that you broke out above that resistance, you're making that entry 3 months out till Expo. You're not going to sell that trade unless it breaks below support, unless it's less than 30 days until Expo, because time theta is going to eat away at that option premium like crazy once you go down to 30 days or less till expiration. And theta is a simple Greek term for time decay with the option premiums. So you got to understand, if you have less than 30 days out till expo, you're going to close it out first candle below that 10 or 20-day simple moving average. Longer, you're waiting here. So perfect example, we're still going over this here, the Baba or the Baidu trade here. So you got in here 3 to 6 months out till Expo. That's October, November, December, January. Here's January way up here. This is still December over here. So if you actually followed that trade plan, you took that trade from 130, actually less than 130, about 125. You took it from 125 all the way up to over $200 a share. Let me clear this out and bring this chart over here a little bit. So, I mean, look at that. There's the January then right here. Here's January, your expo. You rode it from what, 125, we said, all the way up to 263. Now, that's the importance of being disciplined and following that trade plan, because there's going to be times where your emotions are going to play with you when you have, 6 days of selling pressure, and you go from a high of being up 60% to now you're down, 40% on that trade. But you didn't get your stop with the trade plan. So it's really important to follow that stop. Now, this is a beginner's class for you guys. The more detailed class, the 2-hour class I have on the trade plan, is on our website for our members. But I'm teaching you guys how to find breakouts. So again, right here is a perfect example of a breakout, right? Here's that 10-20 cross on Baidu. Here you go. There's that 10-20 cross. Here's that MACD cross back here. You have your first green bars above the zero line on the histogram. And now what you're looking for is a breakout above that consolidation from previously. So once you break that consolidation and you got your first green candle above that 10-20 SMA, right here, that is going to be your entry. Okay. And since it's a new cycle formation, you're going to go with the trade 3 to 6 months to expo. Okay, so right here it is what, December? So you're going to get January, Feb, you're going to get at least the March expiration. So again, your main stop is going to be a stop below support or a stop below that 20-day simple moving average. So now let's see. With this, you were able to get in at $150 a share. So that's at $150 per share. So this is the nice thing about breaking chart alerts, is you could trade options with us, you could trade shares with us, you could trade forex with us, you could trade commodities with us. It's the same trade plan that we could use on anything. Okay, so now what we're looking for, we got that 10-20 cross, the MACD cross. There's check 1, there's check 2, here's check 3. We have our entry. Now our entry in a new cycle, we're looking for something 3 to 6 months out till expo. So again, when is that? Let's see, that was December. So you were looking at the December, January, February, March. Well, it's already past March, so we can't see it. But what I could do, which is really nice, is I could show you guys, watch this, watch how nice and perfect this works out. I could go back and back test what this option cost on this day here. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But I need you to get a pen and paper, and I want you to follow along with me right now. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Go get a pen and paper really quick, and I want you to write this down. It's really important. It's going to be a nice little trading workshop here for us. All right. Go get that pen and paper quick. All righty, time's up. Alrighty, so now I want to share with you and show you exactly what you're going to be looking for as far as profits go following this trade plan I'm teaching you right now. There's that MACD cross, there's the 1020 cross, and there's our first candle breaking above resistance from going back to our consolidation or NTZ zone. Okay, so we broke that area of resistance. We got our first green bar above the 10, 20-day simple moving average. We got the MACD cross. Our entries right here on December 12th, or I'm sorry, December 9th. So December 9th, 2020, that was our entry. Okay, I'm writing that down on my notebook here too, so you guys can see. There's my notebook. I just wrote that down. December 9th, 2020 was entry. What was the stock at? Because when you get that first new cycle formation, you're looking at an at the money or a slight out of the money strike call. So let's see, what was it at right there? It was at 150. So I'd probably pick up the next one. Let's see, we have to go back to our strikes here. So I probably would have picked up the 155 strike call, right? So the 155 strike call, I'm writing that down. 155 strike call, that's what I would have bought right back here on December 9th, okay? So December 9th, you're looking, it broke that right when she was at around 150.59. Okay, so that's in the middle of that, in that body there, that candle, right? So that's important. I want you to write that down. That's why I had you get your paper. Okay, now our trade plan is what? Where's our exit, guys? Those of you that are on Zoom with us, where is that exit at? You know the exit. A first candle below what? Let's see who says it first there. I think Joe's usually pretty quick in there. Our first candle below the, and there's also a little lag here. There you go. Sam actually came through there. First candle below the 20-day. John Rowe just did as well. First candle below the 20-day simple moving average. All right, now it's important, guys, because you have to be a disciplined trader. I am up over 400% in the past year trading the Trade Challenge account by following this system and by following this trade plan. You could either do it on a daily chart if you can't be in front of the computer all day, or you could day trade. We do everything, and you're going to get all the alerts from us, regardless if you have a full-time job or are able to spend all day with us trading. So now what I wanted you to do was write that down. So on December 9th, 2020, you would have picked up the 155 straight call. That's the entry, right? You would have got something until the April Expo. So that was December, January, February. Well, we don't have March, so we'll go with the April Expo. So right here, I'm showing you the April Expo. Right now, that 155 it last traded at 61.50. Theoretically, it's at 54.83 right now. 54.83. That's what it's at right now. You see that right here? Could you guys see? Let me get this. So that 155 strike for that's for the April Expo. Yeah, April 16th Expo. The 155 strike call that you would have bought in on December 9th, December 9th entry, that would have costed you, I'm going to show you, because obviously this is showing you what it's at right now. So right now it is theoretically at 54.83. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is watch this. This is what's really cool about eTrade Pro. So I could link this with link one. See on the top chart here, it says link one. If I go to link here and link one, now if I click on this 155 straight call, it's going to graph it for me on this chart in the background. And then it's going to be able to tell me what the price was exactly, when we had our thing. But first, let's see where our exit was. Our exit was going to be right here on, there's our first candle below the 20 on, and that's less than 30 days to Expo. Let's see. What date is that? 226. Okay, so our exit was on 226.21. Okay, and we'll say that was right at around 284. So right in, between the top and bottom there, it's right in the middle there. So both of them are right in the middle because that's where it closed at. And that's what we're looking for, is a candle closing below that 20. It ended up climbing a little bit there, but here's where it was at on February 26th. Now watch this. I'm going to click on that 155 straight call, and it's going to graph it in the background and show us the prices of that option for each day. And I want to show you how volatile it is. I hope it lets me go back that far. And it's not going, it doesn't let me go back that far. Let me try with the May Expo here. This is only going back to March. Let's see the May 21st Expo, the 155. That might go back a little further. Nope. That goes back to March. I need something that goes out a little bit further here so I could show you a good example of it. There we go. Here's something that goes back a little bit further now. The June 18th, 2021 Expo, right? So this one we could go back and see exactly what it was going for. So we said December 9th. So obviously the June 18th, I mean, that's way past where we want. So it's going to be a smaller return, but I want to share with you and show you what it's going for. So December 9th was our entry. So this is obviously for the June 18th, 155 straight call. Right now, that 155 straight call for the June 18th Expo is going for 56.35. 56.35. Okay, so on December 9th, let's see what this was. And the nice thing about this is you can see right at the top here, see right here, this is actually the graph of the Baidu June 18th 155 strike call. It it increased in value today by $5.88. Okay, so now let's clear that out. Let's see what our entry price was on December 9th. Right in the middle of that candle. There's third, fourth, fifth, 7, 8, 9. So right in the middle of that candle, our entry is 1385. Okay, let's see. 1385. We'll just say 14 there. So $14 was our entry. Okay, so we had a 14 entry price on that, right? Now our closing date, now those of you who had the pen and paper, what day was our closing date on this trade? Do you remember? What was the exit date? Someone on Zoom, call it out there. I have it on my notebook here. There you go. Good job, Dan Hutch. He said February 26, 2021. All right, so now let's see what this was worth on February 26, 2021. Here's February, February 22nd, 23rd, 24, 25, 26. So here was it at February 26th, 158.17. Okay, we'll use this candle here because it even pulled back a little bit more there. Just to show you, even right here on this day, 158.35. Let's just use that one, 143.33, less than that one, and that's on the third. That's on March 1st. To even be more transparent and show you how amazing the trade plan is, and what if you said, I'll wait one more day? Even if you waited one more day, 143.50. So you closed it for 143.50. Well, guess what? What was your entry price on that? What did we say our entry price was? Do you guys remember? $14. That's right, Dan. Our entry point on December 9th, right here, was $14. And guess what it's worth on February 26th there? February 26th, it's worth $158. Even if we go to the next day, $143.50. Guess what? 143.50. Let me see where did I put my calculator here? Oh, I think my daughter stole it off of me again. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my cell phone here. So let's see, 143.5, divide that by 14. That's a 925% return. That's a 10 bagger, Dan. Yep, that's right. Now take a guess how the hell you did that with our trade. How do we find those breakouts? Why do you think Breaking Chart Alerts is one of the top option trading academy for the past 10 years? This is what we've been teaching for 10 years. Stocks are dead, guys. You want to trade shares of stock, okay. But right here, you literally, okay, now here's the thing. Let's go back now because there's a lot of people. This is a very basic class here. So when we say that was $14, right? So that was actually 14, but since there's 100 shares per contract, take a look right here. You see where it says 100 shares per contract? Since there's 100 shares per contract, you have to multiply that 14 times 100. So that means one contract will cost you $1,400. But guess what? That $1,400 for that one single contract, when you sold it, was worth $14,350. So now, let's say you got a decent size account. Let's say you have a $25,000 account. If you have a $25,000 account, your max you're going to put into a trade like this is going to be how much? With options, it's a little bit different. $143.50, 143.5 times 100. It's $14,350 on 10 contracts. Yes, John. $14,000 trade if you bought 10 contracts and then you sold it for $143,500 in a short 3-month time frame. That's right, John. I'm talking to the guys on Zoom in the chat here for those of you wondering what we're doing there on YouTube. But again, there's 100 shares per contract. So one contract costs $1,400. Now, not all contracts are that expensive. We're trading contracts that are usually, $50, maybe $100. But Baidu's a little bit more expensive. So one contract was going to cost you $1,400. Now, guess what? If you have a $25,000 account here, like me personally, what I like to do is put in about 15% on a good trade that has a new cycle formation. And you have to make sure you understand that because too many people say, oh, it's bouncing off support here off that 20 SMA. Let me make a trade and let me make a big one. That's not when you make those big trades, guys. The bigger trades I like to make are when you have those initial new cycle formations, like when you go from breakdown momentum to breakout momentum, or from breakdown momentum to NTZ consolidation, and then you enter breakout momentum. When you get that new cycle formation, that's when you want to go to 3 to 6 months out till Expo. And perfect example right here with Baidu is there you go. You took $1,400 into over, $14,350 in a couple of months. That's what's really amazing there. Now, so again, let's say that you have a 25, let's say you have a $50,000 account. That's not too big of an account there. You got a $50,000 account. You put 15% into that trade, right? That's $7,500. So 7,500, divide that by 1,400. You could get about 6 contracts for that, right? So 6 contracts is going to cost you 6 times 1,400 That's going to cost you $8,400 for that 6 contracts. Okay, so now let's show you how you do it if you got a decent size account here. So if you have a $50,000 account, and you put 15% into a new cycle trade, well, guess what? 15% of 50,000, that's going to be 8,400 bucks, right? Or I'm sorry, it's going to be 50,000 times 0.15. That's going to be about $7,500. So 7,500. Okay, so each one of these contracts cost $1,400 on that date, right? So let's see here. 7,500, divide that by 1,400, that comes out to 5.4 contracts. So we'll round it up to 6. So 6 contracts equals a 6 times 1,400. That equals an $8,400 trade. Now, again, this is just a more expensive stock right here. That's why it's, so much. But, it's only $1,400 per contract. But I'm going to show you a cheaper one like we did on AMD today. Okay, so you got 6 contracts for 8,400 bucks, right? Now, if you go to that date on February 26th, you sold it for $143. Well, guess what? You sold 6 contracts, 8,400 at 1,400 per contract. Now you sold it at on February 26th, 2021 at what price? 143.50. So you bought it for $14 a contract. $14 a contract. Remember, there's 100 shares per contract. That's why we have to multiply that $14 by 100 to get that 1,400. So one contract's going to cost you 1,400. Now 143 times 100 equals $14,350 per contract times 6. Well, $14,300 times 6. That's $85,800 profit you just made. So you literally just took 8,400 bucks and you turned that into $85,800 following that trade plan. Now, like I said, that's what's really important is being disciplined enough to know you're looking for those new cycle formations, wait for 3 to 6 months out till Expo, find those setups, and then you're looking for that first candle below that 20-day simple moving average. Now, it's not this. Now, say that's trade number 1. Well, guess what? You only used 15% of your account. So you have $85,800 plus you still got 42 grand left. So 85,000 plus $42,000, you just took a $50,000 account to $127,800, only risking $8,400 of that $50,000 account. And that's what's really important about trade management. Now, if you know our trade plan, you know that you're not even risking that whole $8,400 because that $8,400 right there, your max stop loss on any trade should be how much, guys? Those of you in the Zoom, those of you on YouTube, what is the max stop loss on any one of our trades that we always send out? 50%, says Sam. So you're only risking $4,200, right? Your max risk on that trade was 4,200, and you got to say, okay, you know what? If she drops 50% and I lose that, my max stop out of this trade is 4,200 bucks, and at a $5,000 account, that's about a 9% drop in your account, right? But you have to understand with the options, your money's much more leveraged. So you're going to see those swings. But guess what? Your max stop loss is 4,200 bucks. Look what you just took that 8,400 bucks to. You just turned that 8,400 into $85,800. Plus you still have the 42,000 from the main account that you didn't even touch. You only use 15% of that 50,000. So now you're left with just 2 months of trading and only using $8,400 out of that 50 grand. Your account is now at $127,800. So you're already up over 100% return on your entire account by only using 15% of your account with options. That's what's amazing, utilizing option strategies and leveraging your money here for large gains, large returns using a trade plan. All these other people you watch there, they don't have a trade plan that you follow. This is the reason why Breaking Chart Alerts is as successful as it is. We trade live every single day and we're going over our targets, our stops. And if you know how to utilize our trade plan, you can make massive returns here. So now let's get Baidu out of here and let's look at a cheaper trade because a lot of people don't even have 1,400 bucks to put into a trade. So let's look at something cheaper here. Let's look at something like AMD. That was a perfect one today. Let me pull up AMD on my thing here because I saved the picture. My mouth is getting so dry. All I've been doing is talking since 9:30 this morning. Okay, so here is our AMD trade, guys. We made this trade today on AMD. Here is the trade. Could you guys see that? Let me zoom in a little bit more here. So here is the trade that we made on AMD. And this is what I want to show you about those explosive profits. We are literally I took this picture literally about 30 minutes into the trade. Okay. So AMD, we ended up having a huge breakout. As you can see over here, we picked up the AMD April 30th, 81.5 strike call. This morning, we picked this up. If you watch were we on YouTube this morning? I don't know if we were yet. I don't know if we were on YouTube. I think we were just on Zoom today. But if you watch our Zoom or if you go into the trade room and you take a look there and you see, guess what? When we picked up this trade, AMD was at $81 a share, right? AMD got up to 84 bucks today. The price paid for this contract was $3.19. But remember, you have to multiply that $3.19 by 100 because there's 100 shares per contract. So that means each one of these contracts costed you $319, okay? Now, you could see how many of them I got. I got 20. So $319 times 20 equals 319 times 20. That equals $6,380, right? So that was my initial investment into this trade was $6,380. Right now, look at how much it's up. It's worth $8,950 right now. That left us so far at the end of the day here with the gain for the day of $2,559.72, over a 40% return on this trade right here just by following that trade plan. And that's really important. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, guys. So again, a 40% gain in just about a half hour on this trade. It's incredible. Now I'm going to show you the AMD. So right now, the last traded price was $4.34. So 4.34. Now that might be the last traded price, but it might be higher or lower depending. So 4.34, divide that by 3.19. That's a 36% gain. So that was the last price. So if the bid and the ask are higher than the ask last price, it'll go based on the bid. So that's why it's 40% gain. So we made $2,559.72 And we still have until April 30th until our expiration. And guess what's coming up with AMD that's going to even push this much higher here? I'm going to share with you guys right now so you guys can see that. So that's how we grow a small account, a large account, by finding these breakout stocks. Now, if I show you AMD this morning, when we jumped into AMD, here was the original opening bell here at 9:30. She started jumping, jumping, jumping. When we saw this breakout here, this is right around when we entered, right when we saw this big breakout on that 1020 cross. We entered, we actually pulled back a little bit. And those of you that were in the trade room knew that during this period right here, that's when we were down on that trade. You know, this is a today 1 minute chart that you're looking at. So now if I go to a 3 month daily, you can see it's starting to break out. It got that 1020 cross. It has that MACD cross, right? Let me show you guys. Here's that MACD cross. Here's that 10-day crossing above that 20-day. It's now, look at the breakdown momentum here. This is the breakdown momentum cycle. That entire time it was below that blue 20-day simple moving average. See that? That's the blue 20-day SMA. So during the breakdown momentum cycle, it's trading below that, getting up to that 20 failing, getting up to that 20 failing, up to that 20 failing. And you see right here, you have a double bottom. So as an experienced trader, right there, you see that double bottom right here, and you're already telling yourself, well, she might be starting a new cycle here. And that's exactly what happened. You had that first candle above that 1020 SMA. You got your MACD cross. You had your 1020 cross. Now you got your first green candle above the 1020. Guess what? There's check 2, there's check 3. Now's the time where you go out 3 to 6 months out. And guess what our target is? Our target's 95 bucks on this. She's only at 83 right now. With options, that's going to be a massive gain. Guess what else there is? If you guys keep up with the news, read the Wall Street Journal, Benzinga or, Bloomberg Terminal. Guess what? There's a major chip shortage. So I see nothing but blue skies for AMD going further here. I think that's going to continue up to that 95 target over the course of the next, 3 to 6 months here. So when you have that initial breakout, the 1020 cross, the MACD cross, you got your green bar above the zero line on the histogram, and then you got your checks. 1, 2, 3. MACD, 1020, first candle above, breaking resistance from going back here, right? So it's breaking that resistance, it's heading higher. Now, here's the other great thing about AMD that I love about this trade. If you go to the calendar here and you look at the calendar and type in AMD, guess what? We got a major catalyst coming on the 26th here. That's why I got the April 30th expo. I'm probably not going to keep it until the 26th, but I said, you know what? I really want to hold on to that because if it does get a big run higher into earnings, I want to be all over that and take advantage of it. And then if I do my research and I'm still bullish on it and I think it's going to have good earnings, maybe I might sell half of it. And then, because if I have 100% return, I close in half, then I'm only using the house's money for the rest. If she has a big breakout to 95, guess what? I want to show you guys now what's really amazing with options. So now let's say that we get an initial move here. Let's say we get the April 23rd expo for next week's expo. Let's say it gets up to, it had almost a $5 move today, and she's still climbing here, right? Almost a $5 move. So let's say she gets up to about 95. It's not going to happen next week. Let's say she gets up to 90 bucks and we pick up the 83.50 strike call. So right at the money there, 83.50, next one out. 83.50 strike call right now is going for how much? That 83.50 is going for $1.58. So now here's the next question. I showed you guys the trade plan, how to find those breakout stocks here, because that'll work. And I'm going to show you on every chart here. But here, I want to show you an example of what you're going to be looking at if it gets to that $90 target. Okay. So if it gets to that $90 target there and you pay 1.58, so premium paid will initiate that PP. PP plus strike equals break even, right? equals break even. Okay, so $1.58 plus 83.50 equals 83.5 plus 1.58. That equals 8508. 8508 equals your break even. Okay, now for 100% return, it's break even plus premium paid, another $1.58. So break even, so 8508 plus 1.58. So at 86.66, that's where you have a 100% return, right? Now, you have the 8350 straight call. So an easy way to find out what that option is going to be worth at expiration if it hits your target is by going by your target or where the stock's at. So 90 minus 8350 equals, you guys know, 5.50, right? Or I'm sorry, 6.50. What am I? I've been a long day. 650. So 90 minus 8350 is 650. If you paid $1.58, you paid 1.58 and it's now worth 650. Guess what? How much of a return is that? That 6 looks absolutely horrible. Let me fix that there. So if that's worth 650, you paid $1.58, 6.5, divide that by 1.58, that's a 311% return. So that's a 311% return if you pick up this 8350 strike call for $1.58 for the April 23rd Expo and it hits that $90 target, you're going to make a 311% gain. Now, again, if you have a $50,000, and let's just say and this is the nice thing. Remember what I said, there's 100 shares per contract. So this is a much cheaper contract for you. This is only $158 per contract. $158 per contract. You could afford $158, right? And guess what? If it gets up to that 90, that $158 is now equal to $650. So you just made over 500, you just made $508 on that trade. That equals a net of 508. A net gain of $508 on that trade if it gets up to that 90 bucks. And that's just with one contract. Now, if you got 5 contracts, 5 times 5, that's over $2,500 profit you just made on a small $700 trade. That's a heck of a great return there. Now, again, let's clear this out and let's look at the charts in the background. I want you guys to see how great this trade plan works and you guys could find your targets and your breakouts. Let's go back out to a 3-year chart now. Now look at on Amazon here. Amazon, look at back here. If you got in on this 1020 cross, here was your MACD. So here's another big one. I mean, look at the massive gain you had on here. Here was your MACD cross. There's check number 1. Here's your 1020 cross. That's check number 2. You're waiting for it to break, though, above that resistance right here. So right here was going to be your entry. That candle right there is your entry. Now, again, with our trade plan, what are we looking for? First full body candle below that 20-day simple moving average is our stop, right? So if you pick this up at 2,000 bucks a share, right there where it was, you guys could see that price right there. It's $2,000 a share. Now, if you were just trading shares of stock, here you go. Here's your first candle below, right here. Take a guess what that's at. That's at what? 31.50. So you sold at 31.50. You just made $1,150 if you just bought one single share and used our trade plan and sold it right there. First candle with full body below 20 SMA. Now with options, obviously that's going to be even bigger. When is this? April? That's going back to 2020. So I'm not going to be able to see anything major on that. But that's how you're able to find those breakouts. And like I said, if you don't have these tools or indicators here to help you and guide you, guess what? How do you know where to find that entry or when to find that exit? If you're just looking at that chart there and you're in this trade back here and you're like, oh, what do I do here? Here you're flattening out, here you're flattening out again. You don't know what to do. You start pulling back a bit. With our trade plan, it gives you definitive targets, stops, entries, and exits. And that's the beautiful thing about breaking chart alerts, guys, is you're able to find those setups immediately and trade them. And let's go down our watch list here and see what else there is. I mean, look at some of these breakouts you're able to find. There's the Baidu we went over. Facebook right here as well. Here's all of our trade plan. Here's the breakdown momentum cycle. Here's the breakout momentum cycle. I mean, I literally plan everything for our members there. I'm looking at every cycle that we're in. But right here, how do we find our entry and exit right here with Facebook? That's a big run right here, right? Let's add it and see. So we go to moving average. We add that 10. We put it on yellow. And I'm telling you, if you guys are new to this, make sure you join us if you like this, because we're really going to help you become a great trader. We got traders that are making 6 figures in our trade room and that are verifying it. So there's that 10, 20. So here you go again. Here was that big breakout you wanted to take advantage of, right? That big breakout right here. Here it is. Let's put on our MACD now. So you had our confirmation here on the MACD. Let's bring up that annotation. You can see right there. There's that 1020 cross. Here's that MACD cross. Here is the first green candle, let's say above that resistance area at 175. So that's your entry, 175. Guess what? You didn't exit out of that trade until right here at 225. With options, that's massive, and then you consolidated for quite some time there. That's all consolidation. Now, guess what? Here's your next entry, the 1020 cross, the MACD cross, and then you got a candle breaking out of thing. So here's your next entry. So this is the breakout momentum cycle that you're seeing all right here. So how do you take advantage of that? Because here's the big breakout, here's consolidation, and then here's that next big breakout. So let me change the colors there because they all look the same. So this box right here, this rectangular box, this is an area of consolidation. This green area over here, that's breakout momentum. So when we sold right here, that's beautiful because it consolidated for a while, and theta, which is time decay, your Greeks called theta, it's your time decay on that option premium. It ate away at that option premium, and you just continue to go down, down, down on that trade. So it's nice to be able to get that exit out of there when you were in at, around 170 to 175, and then you're able to sell around 230. It's above that line right here. So you're able to sell right here around 230. So from 175 to 230, even if it's just shares, it's massive. And then during that consolidation, you're sitting on your hands waiting for that next signal. You got that next signal right here. Check number 1, check number 2, and then check number 3. And then guess what? You got another exit right there. And you made another quick 40 to 50% return. Up here, you're well up over 100% from 250 to 300. So you're probably locking in gains up there when you're up 200%. But like I said, with the trade plan, it's really easy and simple to find those breakouts and find those strategies. And then you just have to understand, what strategy do you want to use? Do you want to use a call, put, spread? Do you want to use a butterfly? We made a great butterfly trade on Google today, looking for that pin at 2300. Here's Google right here. Here's another one. How do you find those setups? Right here. There's that big breakout right here. There's that 1020 cross, MACD. This whole time here, you had a big run from what? From $1,140 a share all the way up to your exit at $1,420 a share. So from 1,100 to 1,400, that's a 300-point move. That's over a 30% move in the underlying stock And with the option, that's going to be a 10 bagger right there. It's going to be 1,000% return. That's why I like trading options. If you're disciplined and patient and follow us in the trade room every day, there's some days where you'll see me in the trade room where I don't say much, I don't do much. Sometimes I don't even come in the trade room much. That's during the time of the consolidation where we still haven't had our sell signal yet, just waiting for us to get that either the entry, the exit, our target, or a stop. And then, we could go into further detail and show about how do we find our targets, how do we find how do we find our resistance and support areas, and how do we find our targets and stops on a trade? Because this is one way to do it, first candle below that 20. But if you know that you have resistance at 1750 right here, going back to this candle back on 9/2/2020, well, guess what? If you get up to that area of resistance you're struggling, sell it immediately. That way that theta doesn't eat away at your time decay. That's what's really important. Those of you that are watching us on YouTube, if you're enjoying this class, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like for me, share it on your social media page. I'd really appreciate that. Doing this free class for you guys, I really like that. Let's see. Michael Bryden says, Dave, there could be lots of stocks with confirmed signals. How do you choose the best? Michael, that's a great question. So again, let's go back to the top here and show you guys what it is then we're looking at. Let's see. There you go. So here now is our scanners. So we could look at our scanners. Here's options on the top right here. We could go down to stocks. We could look at the options. But what we're looking for is we're trying to find the best setup here because we only want to trade the best of breed, Michael. We don't want to find a stock that we never heard of that we don't know what the heck's going on with it. I really don't give a damn about a stock like that. I like trading the best of breed. And if you look at my watch list over here to the top left, we got Amazon, we have Baidu, we have Facebook, Baba, Google, Disney, Netflix, Priceline, Twitter, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Delta, United Airlines, Southwest, Tesla, AIG, Amgen, Caterpillar, Visa, Intel, Facebook, Google, Amazon, Baba, Twitter, Microsoft, Salesforce, Goldman Sachs, Nike, Verizon, Square, Schlumberger, BP Petroleum. This one is that Cimarron Energy, Boeing. There's so many different ones. PayPal here. We're in a big PayPal trade. I actually have like a $15,000 trade on PayPal now, and that's in a beautiful breakout momentum right now. Look at PayPal here. What's our target on the PayPal trade, guys? Those of you that know and that are members here, what is our target? We entered a big trade on PayPal. Actually, let me show you that trade right now while I'm here. I want to share that with you because it's a nice trade. A really nice trade. Let me log in here quick. But guys, what's our target on that PayPal trade? I want you guys to tell me so I can show you. Tell me what that target is on PayPal, those of you that know the trade plan. Now, I just made this trade, very recently on PayPal. Take a look at this PayPal trade, how much I'm up on it today alone. Take a look at that PayPal trade, guys. I picked it up for $16.40 a contract. I got 5 contracts. It's at $20.40 a contract now. I'm up 24.35%. I made $1,997.43 on that trade, and I've only had it for 2 days. And guess what my target is on PayPal? Let's see. Who in the trade room or on YouTube knows where our target is? Anyone? YouTube? Zoom? What is our target on this trade? Look at that. Where's that resistance at? We have major resistance at $300. Okay, that little fluke right there, that's just the star there. So that's just the star on the freaking tree. So resistance at 300. So our target's going to be 300 bucks. Well, guess what? If we have the 270 strike call and it gets up to 300, what's the difference between 270 and 300? $30, right? So this contract right now is at $20.40. So if it gets up to $30, guess what? We paid 16.40. 30, divide that by 16.4, that's a max gain there of 83%. And guess what? That $3,000, that $30, remember there's 100 shares per contract. So $30, multiply that by 100, that's $3,000 per contract. I have 5 contracts, so that's $15,000. I'm looking at least another $5,000 net profit on this trade. And guess what? If it has a big candle tomorrow, since I still have plenty of time, this is the July Expo. If this gets up to 300 in the next month, I'm going to have well over 150% gain. Because why? Because I have time on our side. We have theta that's built into that option premium. So if you guys take a look right here on that option premium, I'll show you. Now, this is I shouldn't be going over all this stuff with you guys. This is like a beginner's class here. But if you take a look at PayPal and I go to this option chain, I right click and click on columns, I could bring up delta and theta. So delta means simply for every dollar that underlying equity goes higher, how much is that option going to increase in value? Okay, so if I go down now to theta and I add that, that's simply telling me how much is this option premium going to decay each day in time value. Because the closer and closer you get to expiration, guess what? The less time you have for that stock to move higher to get, to make you more profits. So theta is your time decay per day. So every single day, that 275 strike call is going to decrease by $1.25. It's going for, let's see here. The delta here, let me see. Delta on the 275 is 40. This is the April 16th expo. That expires tomorrow. So that's telling you this is going to lose $1.26 overnight if it stays where it's at. So that tells you quite a bit. So just by overnight, this option expires tomorrow, April 16th. So if you pick up that 275, stock's at 274.01 now. If it just stays at 274.01, tomorrow it's going to open up minus $1.26. Okay, now let's go out to a normal expo here, May 21st. Here you go. That 270 or the 280 strike call, it's going to lose about 18 cents in value. It's going for $14.97 a contract that last traded at 15 bucks. It's going to lose 18 cents in value. And for every $1, so if PayPal gets to 275, that means this option right here that's going for $14.97, it's going to increase by 57 cents, 57.3 cents, and then it's going to lose 18 cents in time value per day. So it's so amazing how with options you could use the Greeks. You could use these derivatives to really find out and target in on, okay, if she gets to that target price, what is this option going to be worth? And with the option chain here and utilizing those Greeks and these strategies, we can find out what is the best strategy to use. Because I just went over calls with you guys. There's calls, there's puts, there's covered calls, spreads, butterflies, iron condors, there's strangles, there's straddles, there's condors, there's everything, iron butterflies. There's so many different things. But the main thing is being able to identify breakout momentum stocks. And we're able to identify breakout momentum stocks by looking for that 10-20 crossover and breaking above that resistance area. And that's when us as traders, now when you have that initial new cycle, like I said, just to clear things up here. So here's consolidation, right? Here's consolidation, also known as the NTZ zone with our trade plan. No trade zone. When you're in this area, you don't want to do a damn thing because she's not breaking above resistance. She's not breaking above or below support. It's trading sideways within the SMAs, the simple moving averages. That's where you want to stay away from. And then once you break that resistance and you have that 10-20 cross and the MACD cross, there's your 3 check marks there for your entry. And remember, 3 checks equal entry. And that is how we at Breaking Chart Alerts find those big breakout momentum stocks that have those big runs and are able to make us the returns that I showed you guys were able to make there just following that trade plan. You didn't get a single candle there that's selling pressure below support there, and you had a big breakout there. So that's gonna wrap things up right there. But if you guys want to come join us, guys, I have many more classes right here. If you guys join us under our education tab, if you go to options trading classes, once you're a member, we have beginner traders. If you don't know much about options, this is the best place to get started. You start with beginner class number 1 and you work your way up. And then you could go to your intermediate traders, your experienced traders, and then once you join us, here's our trade alert page. If you come here, here's all of our trade alerts. And if you click on them, you know exactly what we're looking for and exactly what you're buying. So here's our targets, here's our stops, max stop loss, here's our stop, current price, here's the implied move. We make it so easy for you. Here's where your break even point is. Here's where you're going to have 100% gain at expo. Here's the catalyst, and it's really nice to be able to jump in those trades, make some large trades with us, and have some big gainers. So if you guys want to join us, go to the join now, go to the membership pricing plans. I have a special offer for you guys today. You guys could use promo code RALLY, RALLY, sign up. So what's the difference between these memberships? Trader membership is just going to give you the live trade room app and the morning trading video. So the morning trading video is from 9:30 to 11. The pro trader is going to you don't get any text messages or anything with the trader membership. Pro membership, you're going to get the morning trade session and the afternoon trade session and the text alerts. Okay, but you're not going to get those advanced classes with Pro Trader. Now, $250 a month times 12 is $3,000. Now, Elite Pro Trader, you're immediately saving $500. Not only that, now you're getting a one-on-one with me. You're getting the live trading session in the morning. You're getting the live trade session in the afternoon. And then you're also getting, the group classes for the advanced traders. So that includes the beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. And we do group workshops with the Elite Pro traders there in the afternoon, which is really great. We go over what we just taught about here, but much more detailed. Here's our features. Once you guys join us, you could download our app. And then, like I said, if you guys want to come in the live trade room, here's the trade room where all of our members are at who are full-time traders. And then here you go. You guys could see some of their gains today. They made some really big gains there trading some really nice stocks. And then if you guys want, you guys could go to the homepage, look at our daily newsletter. Our newsletter's there every day. It looks great. You guys could check that out. And if you guys want to join us, like I said, go now, join us, use promo code RALLY, and then you can get started in our education section. Also, we have a lesson library. Lesson libraries are quick lessons, 5 to 10 minutes. What's a straddle? What is the closing market or the imbalance on close? How to use our alerts, how to trade with the MACD and the RSI. When you're in the consolidation or the no trade zone, what are the safe haven stocks to trade during that period? And, through my 15 years of trading, I've put together a really great video on the safe haven stocks for you guys. How to set up your trade alerts, how to profit using the MACD, and that's just some of the lessons here. And once you guys join, there's going to be many more. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you feel free to ask down here at the bottom. We have a link to the Facebook business page. You just click here, log into your Facebook Messenger, shoot us a message if you have any questions. But go to our website, check it out here. Here's Learn How to Trade Options. You want to watch this? Watch this. You want to watch how to use our alerts, our text, and our app alerts? Watch that video. Our option trading community, watch this video right here. Great content to help get you started. Here's a video from our members. Next thing you know, a month later, he's up $70,000 with us. We got some really great members and some really great chances for you guys to learn how to trade and be a great community together. So if you guys want to come join us, make sure you're going to breakingchartalerts.com, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Day Trade Friday. I hope everyone enjoyed this class. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like for me, and share it on your social media. And I will see you guys in the trade room. Alrighty, guys, take care and have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye. Alrighty, guys, that's going to conclude it for our class tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please go to our website, breakingchartalerts.com, get signed up, and I really look forward to seeing you guys in our trade room. And these are just some of the topics that we go over every single day. We do pre-market video. We go live before the market opens. We go over our current trades, any movers that are moving in the pre-market that we might be looking to trade that day. We go over unusual options activity, top upgrades, downgrades, and then we also go over our current trades and analyze them, our targets and our stops with each. So I really appreciate you guys being with us. If you guys want to follow us, make sure that you guys are going to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, excuse me, and if you want to catch us on Instagram, you guys could follow us there. I really hope everyone had a great day and enjoyed this class. And if you want to come join us, breakingchartalerts.com. Come join us, and I'd be happy to see you guys. Take care. Again, I'm Dave Santarelli, the President and CEO of Santarelli Trading Exchange, breakingchartalerts.com, and Stock Options Trading Academy. Take care, guys. Have a good night. And again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it on social media for us, and I will see you guys tomorrow